Questions and answers with your host, JellyBeans.
Do it again. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, yes, indeed, there are more questions than answers. Like, why can't the flight attendant understand that I sleep better naked? Hi, America. Hello, world. My name is Adrian Lee, and I'm your host. I also got into trouble at school on Pajama Day because, you know, like God intended.
Oh, God.
Yeah, can't teach in that school anymore. Welcome to the show, More Questions Than Answers, the only paranormal quiz show anywhere in the world. Each week, my guests and I will search the world's newspapers, websites and TV shows just for you, to bring you the very best in paranormal talk radio entertainment and enlightenment. We will then test each other's knowledge of the week's events, of the mysterious, strange, supernatural, unusual, bizarre, and just plain weird. If you have just tuned in especially to hear the show, then I admire your taste. If you have just tuned in by accident, then I admire your luck. I am huddled under my quilt with a large flashlight and a nice cup of tea with tonight's guests, somewhere in the barren wildernesses of the Midwest Plains, with the sound of my elderly mother snoring distantly from the room next door. Each week we press our ear against the bedroom wall. Whatever my mother listens to before she goes to bed picks and pulls on her unconscious mind. What did she listen to tonight? Feeling hot. It's hot out there.
So true.
It's hot in the studio.
It is.
My reading glasses keep steaming up with humidity. It's terrible. My poor dad, my mother's tossing and turning. Can't be any fun for anybody. So snuggle under your covers, turn out your lights, and hold on tight. The rules are very simple. Points will be awarded randomly for being interesting or for making me laugh or shiver in horror. Extra points will be available for shock and or value. To help me control my rowdy panel of recidivists and reprobates, I will employ what I have called the inappropriate bell. An example of this would be... The panel have no idea what's coming. I have no idea what stories they have for tonight's show, so let me introduce my guests. Firstly, the mysterious and effervescent Heather Morris. She's been a paranormal investigator for many years with her own team called Hellhound Investigations and does all of her best work in the shadows. She is now one of the leading audio and EVP experts with the International Paranormal Society and brings her knowledge and research skills to tonight's show. She is also a producer and sound engineer. Heather taught the kids at Dairy Queen today about taxis by eating 38% of their ice cream. Welcome to the show, Heather.
Hello.
Was you there trying to get a date?
I already had one.
You had a date at Dairy Queen. Did you go well for you?
Never.
Everything you wanted it to be?
No.
Wow. If all your financial statements are in red ink, it's time to change your printer cartridge. I also wish to introduce the mad and crazy Michelle Corrie. She was born and raised in Mora, Minnesota, and has a keen and avid interest in all things paranormal. Michelle was in the restroom and saw a sign that said employees must wash hands. She waited a full 5 minutes. No one came along, so she did it herself. Welcome to the show, Michelle.
Hello.
There's two types of people in the restroom. Those that see someone else in the restroom with them and don't want to seem gross, and those that have got poo on their hands.
Oh.
They're mad, they're bad, and they are paranormal. As we enter our first round proper, which is a lack of general knowledge. This is series 4, episode 7, and we currently have a listening party. If you wish to participate, if you wish to join in, if you wish to show us how cerebrally challenged you are, go to our Facebook site, More Questions Than Answers with Adrian Lee. There is currently a watch listening party taking place where people are answering the questions, having fun, having joviality, sharing gifts, sharing friendship and laughs. It's the place to be. If I wasn't doing the show, I would be on there. In fact, there's many a time I'd quite like to do the show beforehand and then comment.
Yes.
We showed a video, didn't we, not so long ago of the show?
We did.
And we commented on our own video.
It was hilarious.
I enjoyed that. I liked that. I like doing little extra bits. It was almost like doing one of those DVD commentaries where you show the show.
Mystery Science Theater 3000. Yeah.
And then you comment on it. So I quite enjoyed that. I'd like to do that more, actually. We should look into that. But you need to listen on digistreamglobal.com. You need to open another browser, which then allows you to play along. On Facebook, so we hope to see you over there. Now, as convention dictates, we introduce the round of a lack of general knowledge with the soap on a rope Martin-sponsored gong of infinite knowledge, with the washcloth of facts and the slippery studs of statistics. Wow, it's easy enough for you to say.
Studs.
Stand back, ladies and gentlemen.
Martin!
Again, this week we'll give a shout out to Martin. His dad's very poorly at the moment, and his dad needs all of the prayers and all of the healing that we can send. So we're going to do that for Martin. So if you can do that for me as well, Martin and myself and the MQTA team would be very grateful. There are points to be won. Straight off the bat, I'm feeling philanthropic. I'd like to give you some points. What did Thomas Edison have thicker than anyone else?
Mustache.
Toenails.
That's all you have to do to win your first points of the evening. Miss Morris, you are saying a mismatch.
Mushmash.
You are saying, how do you measure the thickness of a moustache then? What device would you use?
Density.
Density. Viscosity.
Yeah.
I don't know whether you've noticed, and as I'm pressing my lips against the microphone, it's progressively going up my nose and driving me insane, and I hadn't considered this before. But I've got a bit of a tash going on here.
Yeah.
I know.
I posted a
Serious.
picture of myself on Facebook this week, and most of the comments revolved around me looking like a 1970s porn star.
Yeah. Porn tash.
And then my
hedgehog.
mother added, am I waxing it? No, it's going where I want it to go just by sheer will alone.
She also said she liked it.
That is true. She did say that,
Aw.
yeah.
Hi, Jenny.
My mother's always been partial to a moustache. I bet if she was in the room now, she'd say, you know, Magnum P.I., Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds.
Hey, Reynolds! This is true, but it's kind of getting twirly at the ends here. Can you see
Nice.
that? I'm getting a bit of a Poirot going on here.
Old-timey.
But it's going up my nose. It's driving me insane. If the hairs in my nose are curly and so are my moustache, is that like Velcro? Is it going to stick together at some point?
Shave the middle.
Shave the middle. That's not shaved. That's friction's worn that away, madam. So you are saying he had the thickest moustache of anyone else?
Yep.
Did Thomas Edison even have a moustache?
Sure.
Okay, for the purposes of this quiz, he did. Miss Shell, you've had plenty of time to think of an answer.
I said toenails.
You did say toenails. He had to sand them down. They were that thick.
Thick.
It's an inanimate object. It's not part of his being, if that helps you along the path.
Oh,
Thickest.
really? Windows.
He had the thickest windows.
Yeah.
He didn't want anyone looking at his inventions.
Yeah.
Little boys in Dickensian costume, glaring in through the windows. Not for
Or
him.
socks.
Or socks. He had the thickest socks. He could barely get them on. His toenails were so long. Michelle. He could climb trees. It's true. Look, there's Thomas Edison climbing up a tree, getting a coconut. Save the kitten, Thomas.
Gloves or shoes?
I will have to tell you, he had his pencils especially made thicker because on this day in 1866, Edson P. Clark patented the indelible pencil in Northampton, Massachusetts. So for the very first time in the history of MQTA radio, I cannot believe that strange, bizarre and fascinating facts about pencils. Feeling confident?
Number 2.
I shall call you number 2. But it is true, Thomas Edison had the thickest pencils of anyone. He had them specially made. On average, how many pencils can be made from the average tree? I will give you a clue. It's in the tens of hundreds of thousands, as you would expect.
Tens of hundreds.
So, the average tree,
Mm-hmm.
we go out with an axe, chop one down,
Mm-hmm.
pretend we're George Washington, and
You could probably make 495,000.
495,000. Why did you say that, Miss Morris?
I have no idea.
But just pluck that out of the collective
Yeah.
consciousness of the universe.
Pretty much.
Have you cheated this evening?
No,
Have you looked
how?
at my notes?
No.
How? I had to go and have a wee before the show started. That's how.
I had to take care of the show mascot.
Yes.
Yes, this is 100% true. Michelle, you have a decision to make. 495,000 pencils from one tree on average. Where are you going? Where would you like to see that?
Higher.
You are going higher. You would be wrong. It's 300,000 pencils. I cannot give any points away this evening. That's an awful lot of pencils, isn't it? IKEA are probably going through that many as we speak.
Sure.
When I was an art teacher, we have no budget. There's no money to spend on expensive equipment. I literally went to IKEA and said I'm a school teacher. I've no pencils. And they literally gave me a sack of pencils.
Oh.
Do you know they're the little stubby ones, don't they?
To fill out your order.
Yeah, and they gave me a load of pencils. That was very kind. I'll give a shout out to IKEA for doing that. The Swedish are very generous people, but I did get some pencils.
Yes, we are.
Tack.
Yeah. You've got a bit of Swedish blood in you there, Morris.
Yeah.
And what else have you got floating around? Native American?
No. Irish. German, like every other Minnesotan. Anything you'd like to add to that, Michelle? Any extras?
I'm a little English.
Wow, I'm pleased to hear that. I knew you were the intelligent, good-looking one in the team.
Oh, God.
There we go. A friend of mine once got engaged to a pencil. He was really excited to introduce his bride-to-be.
To be. Stop.
I love this show. Miss Morris has gained herself 2 sharpened, pointed pencils. Before the invention of the eraser, what was used to remove unwanted pencil marks? There you go.
Spit.
Gob on that, will ya? I've got me maths wrong.
Yeah.
Terrible. So you're thinking, back in the day, before
You
erasers...
spit on it, or you lick your finger and then you rub it a little bit and it comes off.
And that's not going to make a nasty mark.
Who cares?
Do you remember those pink erasers where you rubbed them and it left nasty pink marks all over your work?
Yeah.
Who came up with those?
Ish.
Someone who owns a vulcanization rubber factory and a load of pink dye, I suspect, would be the answer to that. It's like people who live in Arab countries inventing egg timers.
And ate right through the paper.
Yuck.
Very grim. In Britain, most pencils don't have erasers on the end, and of course, I'm
Is
aware...
it because you don't make mistakes?
No, I don't know why that would be, because it's cheaper, I guess. I would suggest, though, in Britain it's called a rubber.
Yeah.
So if you ask for a rubber, you're getting an eraser, and I know there's comedic value in this,
yeah,
but it's
you
100%
wouldn't get that here.
true. You'd have a rubber on the end of your pencil. My sister used to collect rubbers. She had every kind of shape and size. It was incredible. They stopped producing. There was a law passed in Britain to stop erasers, rubbers, being made in the shape and smell of certain foods. Like she could get cookies.
Yeah.
And watermelon
That's
and
right.
stars.
Yeah.
And they used to smell.
Yeah.
You can't do that anymore because kids were eating them. That's what was happening. She
they've
had an
eaten
eraser
worse.
collection where they had cookies, actually looked and smelt like cookies, and then kids were actually eating them. But if we went away anywhere, if my dad decided we'd go to Derwent and visit the Pencil Museum, then I would often get a badge, a button. I had a collection of buttons from everywhere we went, and my sister would get an eraser. So I had a button collection. My sister collected an eraser. You are suggesting it was a good old-fashioned bit of spit. Not the thing to use during the COVID-19 virus, is it? Spit to get rid of your pencil markings.
Spit or gum.
She is spreading her chips liberally. Her choice is a spit or gum.
Yeah.
Okay. Michelle, that
my.
leaves you many wondrous things, doesn't it?
I think it was a ball of clay.
A ball of clay. I'm going to give you more clues. It's a food stuff. It's a food substance.
Banana peel.
You are suggesting that back in the day, there was an abundance of bananas, apparently.
Potatoes.
Potatoes, bananas. I'm going to have to give you nipwa. It was, in fact, breadcrumbs. They used breadcrumbs to erase pencil markings. I called my eraser Confidence because it got smaller with every mistake I made. No points to be won, but there is, in fact, a pencil museum in Derwent, Cumberland, and it got destroyed in a hurricane, and they lost all their precious pencils.
Oh, no.
And then they had to rebuild it again. 100% true. You can go and research that and find it for yourself. I can just imagine now sitting in the rain and the cold of a half-term holiday in October, with the rain splashing against the car, with my mum and dad in the front seat.
I've got a cheese sandwich and a thermos of hot tea, waiting for the pencil museum to open with my mum telling my dad that he'd ruined her life.
Oh, God.
The word pencil... The word pencil comes from the Latin word. You leave this show with more than you arrive with, do you not think? Comes from the Latin word pencillus. Pencillus. To win your points this evening, you need to tell me what pencillus actually means in Latin.
Tiny Willy.
What's your Latin? Schwanz. You are saying
Kleine.
pencillus. Meine Hindert is heißt. You are suggesting that pencillus.
Yes.
So you could point to a little Minnesotan boy in the cold. Look at his pencillus.
Yes.
So you are suggesting that the word pencil in Latin means little Willy.
Yep.
Well, you can't push a pencil where a pencil won't go.
Little Willy.
Yeah. That's 2 weeks in a row we've referenced Sweet.
Yeah,
What a great
I
band they
know.
were. Miss Morris is going with Little Willy.
Little Willy.
Free Little Willy. Michelle, you have many wondrous things to choose from. Pencillus is your word. The word is pencillus.
Lead and wood.
Lead and wood. There's no lead in pencils. It's carbon and clay. There's no lead in a pencil. It's an animal part, but Morris
Quill.
hasn't got it. She didn't get Little Willy. She's not a million miles away. She's fairly close. And I did actually give you a clue by saying it in German.
Tail.
There you go. It's little tail in
Oh.
Latin. Miss Morris pushes herself up to a colouring book selection of 4. Now, do you remember at school, the smaller your pencil you had, the cooler you were? Did that happen in this country? In
No.
Britain, you'd shave your pencil down to the smallest little nubbins and you would work with it. And you were so cool if you had the smallest, most sharpened pencil. This isn't part of the quiz, but I happen to have knowledge in this area as an art teacher. How many times on average can you sharpen a pencil before it disappears into sawdust? Give me a number. Because I'm feeling like we need to have more points on the show.
325.
Can you sharpen a pencil 325 times?
Yeah.
That's what you're going with, is it?
Yeah.
50.
It's 17, would you believe? You get 17 goes out of a pencil before it disappears into the ether.
Huh.
Never
don't
to
believe
return
it.
in a pile of wood shavings. Now, on this day in 1913, it is fairly warm today. We started the show with my mother snoring. Hot, hot, hot. It's very warm, very humid. We're all sat here in our underwear at the moment.
Good.
On this day in 1913, the highest temperature ever recorded was documented where? So this very day in 1913, the highest temperature ever recorded on planet Earth, the surface, of course, we're not drilling into the magma. Where do you think that might be?
Iceland.
How's that? Have a guess that perhaps the warmest temperature there's ever been in the world was recorded in a place called Iceland.
Yeah.
You are going with that, are you?
Yeah.
You think that's the right answer?
Sure.
The obvious answer's the right answer, Michelle.
Death Valley.
It is indeed. It was in Greenland Ranch, Death Valley in California.
Did you say Greenland?
Greenland Ranch. Which is, what are you
Close.
suggesting? Because you said Iceland. Greenland Ranch, Death
Neighbor.
Valley, California was the hottest place ever recorded on the planet in the history of the Earth. On this very day in 1913, how hot do you think it got? What was the temperature, do you think?
136.
I think it was in the 130s.
Which you're going
A
to...
little lower.
Yeah, it was 134 Fahrenheit, which is 56.7 Celsius for my European friends and colleagues. That's very hot, isn't it? That's like being on Mars during the course of the day. Who sweats more, men or women, do you think?
Women.
I'm going to give Michelle some points because she won the temperature one there. 2 sweaty,
Whatever.
globulous points. Well,
Women.
you're 4-2 up. Why do women sweat more, do you think?
We have to deal with men.
You have to work hard. Do you think men or women sweat more, Michelle?
I think men do.
Men do. It's 100% true. Their glands
I don't believe it.
are more active, apparently. Now, on this day, in 1856, Nikola Tesla was born. Happy
Hello.
birthday, Nikola Tesla. Born in which country? Closest one wins. Where was he born, do you think?
Poland?
You're gonna go
Canada.
Poland. Canada.
Romania?
Keep going.
Mexico.
Nikola Tesla was born in Mexico.
Czechoslovakia?
I'm going to give Michelle
Borneo.
one. It's
Borneo.
Eastern. Let's
Tesla
pick around the
monkeys.
Tesla monkeys. He was born in the Austrian Empire, but it is now Serbia, is where he was born. He died in 1943, but it is his birthday today, so for the very first time in the history of MQTA radio, I cannot believe that strange, bizarre, and fascinating facts about Nikola Tesla. Feeling
Confident?
confident?
No.
We started with Thomas Edison, so it seemed like a reasonable...
I know, and thinking back, I thought it was Einstein, so that's why I said mush mash.
Oh.
Yes,
Yeah.
easily to confuse when they have absolutely nothing in common other than the fact they lived in America.
Starts with E.
This is
Old white-haired men.
old. Let's do a quiz on old white-haired men.
Ooh.
Santa Claus would be the first one, wouldn't it? Tesla had an obsessive personality. He was obsessed with the number 3. That's the first thing. But he detested and would not touch what bodily item.
Oh.
He had a lot of issues with OCD,
Eyeball.
with neurosis. He was a very strange gentleman, as most geniuses are. You are suggesting that he detested and would not touch and go near an eyeball.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that don't like eyeballs.
No.
I don't mind.
Popping them one out. Oh, my eye. You are suggesting the eyeball.
Aye, Captain.
We had to dissect a pig's eye in biology when I was at
Oh,
school.
gross.
Did you have to do anything like
Yeah.
that?
No.
We had a rat, a pig's eye.
I found a worm's brain, though.
A worm's brain? What did a worm spray?
No, worm's brain.
Oh, a
Brain.
worm's brain. That must have been huge.
I was the only one in our class to find it.
I'm sure you were. Am I right in thinking that worms have got something like 7 hearts? Is that right?
I don't know. I didn't
read that
dissect that part.
somewhere? You can
Yeah.
kind of cut them up into 7 equal parts and they'll kind of
They all
shuffle off
taste
in
the
their
same.
own direction. Worms. Worm juice. Worm jelly. I told my sister when she was little that she had a terrible illness that could only be cured by eating worms. And she thanked me for telling her, and she ate worms every single day and was lucky to be alive.
Oh.
So there we go. What are you going to suggest, Michelle? What body item did he
I'm going to say
detest?
hands.
You need hands to hold a little baby. It's not hands, it's not eyeballs. Keep shouting out those
Nipples,
bodily parts.
Feet.
Nope.
Ears.
Belly buttons.
Keep them coming. It's like a game of
butts,
operation.
Knees.
Nope.
Toes.
Nope. Boomsy
Head,
daisy.
shoulders, knees and toes. Knees and toes.
Reproductive organs.
Wow, that was the Germans.
Bums.
Nope.
Noses.
You still haven't
Mouths.
got it.
Backs.
No. A lot of
Hair.
people have been. There
Tails.
we go. It was hair. He did not like hair. Michelle, on her 25th body part, stumbled across the fact that Tesla was obsessed, didn't like hair, and stayed away from it. Didn't like playing with it, didn't like touching it. Not a fan of hair. So I'm guessing he would shave his women bald, down to the wood, like a plucked chicken. Also, if a woman showed him her what, he would leave the room and avoid them. He's a very strange gentleman, isn't he? It's not a body part. Let's put that out there. We've gone through those.
Really?
If a woman showed him her what, he
Petticoat.
would have to leave the room and avoid them.
Petticoat.
You're going to go with the old crinoline, the petticoats, the hoops,
Yeah.
the layers, the bustle.
Yeah.
Umbrella.
There's a bustle in your hedgerow.
Kerchief.
Ella, It's neither of those two things. Think about adornments. Think about being at a dinner party.
Earring.
Well, we're in the right area.
Watch.
Nope.
Necklace.
Hair clip.
We're not doing so well today, are we? We need to perhaps
Spectacles.
have a good night's sleep before we come into the show rather than drinking heavily.
Necklace.
What kind of necklace?
Pearl.
There you go. I've teased out the pearl necklace. There we are. Yes, he was obsessed with pearls, didn't like them. If a woman was wearing a pearl necklace, he'd have to leave the room. Very strange gentleman. I'll give Miss Morris a couple of white pearlescent cylindrical points, and she's now up to a very firm 6. Tesla invented a machine that cured Mark Twain of what? Mark Twain suffered terribly. He invented a machine and cured Mark Twain's ailment. I just need you to tell me what he cured. You're right, all these white-haired old gentlemen are hanging out together, aren't they?
Twain.
Like an old boys club. Look at Mark Twain playing pool. Someone give him a game. Einstein's there, racking the scores.
It cured his nervousness.
his nervousness. Mark Twain,
Shock
very,
treatment.
very, very nervous gentleman. He was halfway through his novel. Anxiety, nervous disposition was Mark Twain. Don't go up behind him with a whoopee cushion. Don't burst a balloon in his ear. He'll be off and running. Very nervous gentleman. Great for practical jokes, though, Mark Twain. I'm led to believe.
Introvert.
I think Mark Twain was the first author that ever wrote a manuscript on a typewriter. You leave.
I believe that's true.
With more. Well, I wouldn't say things that weren't true, Michelle.
I know.
But
I was at his house, though. I think I saw it.
I've been to his house.
Yeah.
There's also a cave. It's in Missouri, isn't it? There's a cave.
No, I was at his one in Connecticut.
Oh, Connecticut. I was at his childhood home, I think it was, where the steamships were, the paddle steamers, and they've got a bit of a museum. I wish I could remember the name of it, but they've
Hannibal.
got Mark Twain's. It is indeed 100%. I shall give you points for helping me out. You're now
Sorry.
I'm pleased. I couldn't for the life of me remember where I've been in this country, but there's caves there as well that were very, very impressive. So, what are you suggesting? You're saying nerves and anxiety, and you are going with
insomnia.
You aren't correct. Would it help you if I said the machine was a high-frequency oscillator? Would that give you a clue as to his problems?
Migraines.
Rheumatism. Back pain.
It cured.
Tone deaf.
What? It cured Mark Twain of constipation. He made a high-frequency oscillator. Mark Twain got jiggled around.
The brown note?
And then from then on in, everything was flowing, and he had to run off, and there was a build-up, and it was coming out like rope, apparently. So he cured Twain of constipation by using a high-frequency oscillator, which jiggered it all about, and apparently that was enough to open the door, and everything just let go from then on in. Life starts out with everyone cheering when you have a poop, and then it drastically goes downhill from there. Now, with his 142-foot metal mask and giant coil, Tesla managed to electrify what animal with a halo over 15 miles away? So he built a 142-foot mast made of metal. He attached a huge coil to that, decided he would cover the entire landscape with electricity. He made an animal glow, and it had a halo around it, and it was 15 miles away, and all you need to do is to tell me what that animal was.
It was an eagle.
You are saying he electrified an eagle. That would be quite creepy, wouldn't it? Seeing an electric eagle. By the way, what a great name for a band.
Yeah.
Electric Eagle. There. Yes, you are suggesting that coming out of the sky, very patriotically, was the glowing American bald eagle, like an avenger of doom.
Yeah,
sizzling
like a
in the
phoenix.
air with all of his feathers burnt.
Yeah.
Nice. From the word Phoenicia, of course, where the Bible was printed. King Solomon was the king of Phoenicia. Byblos was the capital of Phoenicia, and they printed the first Bible there. And that's why the Bible's called the Bible. It comes from Byblos, the capital of Phoenicia. They then created a language. First language ever, first alphabet, which the Greeks then stole, was in Phoenician. All very Knights Templar. You leave this show with more than you arrive with. I love this show. What are you going to go with? What kind of animal was glowing 15 miles away?
Elephant.
There was an elephant, was there? 15 miles away.
Electric elephant.
The electric elephant. I've been to that nightclub. Very impressive. Can't remember what happened there, but it was very impressive. I will tell you that you are both wrong, but you might want to keep on the theme of flying. So what are we going to go with?
Crow.
Nope. It's not a
It's a bat.
bird. It's a
Plane.
It's an aeroplane. I don't think they had aeroplanes
Superman.
then. So he made Superman glow 15 miles away. What are you suggesting?
Owl.
You are suggesting an owl after I said it wasn't a bird.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said it was a bird.
Kite.
Again, nope, that's not an animal unless you're discussing the bird, and I've already said it's not a bird. This is hard work this evening.
It's not
Yeah.
a bat.
I need members of the public.
It's not a bird, but a squirrel?
Yes, one of them flying squirrels you read so much
Yeah.
about.
There are flying squirrels.
Insects fly. Come on, girls, get with the plan.
Butterfly.
There we go.
Oh.
God, isn't it painful? He made butterflies
Ow.
glow and electrified them from 15 miles away. Can you imagine if you got in the way of that and you became Butterfly Man? What skills would you have? I mean, that's a C-grade superhero character, isn't it? Butterfly Man?
Mothman.
Mothman. Well, that exists, of course, as a creature fabled across the Midwest with the ability to pollinate plants, no less. Well, I once found a butterfly without wings, so I poured some Red Bull on it, and it drowned.
Oh, nice.
That was then, but this is now. As we enter our favourite part of the show, it's the mailbag.
Mailbag.
Woo! If you wish to write to us at any time, we would love to appreciate your letters of support. We love reading everything you write about the show. A bit short on letters today. Don't know why.
Huh?
Get writing. People are on vacation, I guess, or just...
They melted.
I get the impression a lot of people have left Facebook alone, to be honest. There's so much on there to do with politics and the COVID and everything else that I think a lot of people aren't embracing the Facebook at the very moment. But if you wish to write to us, if you wish to hear your name read out, if you wish to tell us which part of the show you like the best, you're more than welcome to do that. We'd love to hear from you, and you can write to us on More Questions and Answers with Adrian Lee. We'd love to see those. Also, Miss Morris, would you like to discuss with our listeners where they can find the show for free? Where could they go to if they wanted to listen to us? If they were in the car on a long journey, if they were mowing the yard, if they were going for a morning walk with the dog, how could they access MQTA?
Well, the first thing they could do is go to soundcloud.com, where I think we have somewhere in upwards of 240-ish or more episodes on there.
I think we may have more than that, but you're certainly getting up there into the...
Did I mention to you guys that they've been listened to over 260? It might be more than that, more around 300,000 times.
300
Amazing.
Between all the platforms.
thousands individual listens. That's
crazy,
individual.
huh?
That's not people. That's
individual listens.
That's
yeah,
correct. That's a huge,
it is
huge number. You can find us on Spotify.
Yes, TuneIn, Player FM,
Tuna Sandwich.
Did you say Spotify?
Hedgehog. Porcupine Radio.
Green Beans.
Tesla Monkeys.
Yeah,
it's all there for you. We're on every
Shine.
single platform. If you can't find us, you've only got yourself to blame. You want to search for MQTA Radio, but a lot of people go to soundcloud.com, search for MQTA Radio. It's 100% free. You can catch us first, of course, every Friday night on digistreamglobal.com. Just type that in. Go to the episode. This is currently episode 7.
Mm-hmm.
Remarkable number to get to. We're not that far away from our 300th all-time amazing, can't believe that show. We'll have to have a celebration,
wow.
maybe invite some people into the...
Yes, please.
I think we're about 15, 20 shows short of the 300 mark over the last 7 to 8 years, which is remarkable. But we have 100,000 listeners, 190 countries all over the world. Would you like to tell our beautiful, aesthetically pleasing, fabulous, cerebrally, intellectually amazing listeners where they can... I'm running out of superlatives. Could you tell them where they can donate to the show? This is very important. This is a non-profit organisation. We don't make any money. We have to pay for the studio, the equipment. All of the platforms we've just read out actually cost money unless they drop the shows after a certain length of time, and we want to keep them up there permanently. So, Miss Morris, would you like to describe how they can donate and where they can donate if they wish to do so?
You can go to patreon.com, and I believe it's /MQTA Radio, and you can catch episodes, if you support the show, episodes that have never been heard before, as well as radio plays, videos, various videos, special shows that we do just for fun and just for you patrons.
And we do an extra 20 to 25 minutes at the top of the hour in the studio, which helps us raise a little money in the Not For Your Mother round.
And you can get it first.
Yes, we search for the stories from around the world that are just full of filth and adult content, but we don't read them out on the show. But if you go to any of those platforms, you can find an extra 20 to 25 minutes where we're very rude. People say it's their favourite part of the show. I also have books out. If you wish to go to Amazon, I have many books on hauntings, ghosts, being psychic, UFOs, all kinds of incredible things. Mysterious Minnesota, Mysterious Midwest, ghosts and UFOs, how to be a Christian psychic, much, much more. So if you go to Amazon or any good e-bookshop, you can find me on there. Search for Adrian Lee, and all of those books are there for you if you'd like a nice summer read. Now, I've got a little game in front of me. Each week we try something a little bit different. The marshmallow fight has now gone down in infamy as a historical moment in the show, especially for Michelle swearing. Quite impressive.
I'm sorry about
yes,
that.
I've never heard
You're
such
not.
language since I was at the docks in Portsmouth. Your mother would be proud of you. Now, in front of me, I have a little game. It's called Bean Boozled. Bean Boozled Jelly Beans. Now, the idea is that there's a little spinner, like on Game of Life. I can flick the little arrow, and when it lands on a colour of jelly bean, you have a choice. And all the colour beans here. So, what they've got, for example, you can land on peach, but it's also fart. And so you pick two out and you don't know what you're going to get. It's like Russian roulette. There's birthday cake or dirty dishwater, but they look exactly the same. There's coconut and spoilt milk. So if I root around rotten egg and buttered popcorn, for example, juicy pear and bogey. So if I root around and look for those colours, you don't know who's getting what. So this is where we're playing Russian roulette right now. So we've got the camera rolling. We haven't discussed this yet, but if you're a Patreon supporter, you get many, many things for that dollar. You get to see us in the studio, and we're all waving at the camera right now as we speak. Michelle's getting her bucket ready because she's got a very delicate disposition. I will spin the flicker. There's no cheating involved. We're all going to get a go, and I flick it now, and it's spinning around, and we have ended up on the one that says toasted marshmallow or stink bug. So I now need to go and look for that little thing. So we're going to play this first, Michelle. If I was you, I'd take both pills. Would you like that one or that one? They're both exactly the same. They could, in theory, both be toasted marshmallow, right? We don't know. They could both be stink bug. You are taking the one on the left. In your own time, madam. Pull the trigger. See what happens. Oh! Toasted marshmallow. Oh, that's lovely. Having problems there, Michelle? Oh, my. Oh, you chose poorly. Yeah, I got toasted marshmallow. That's lovely, that. Oh, dear. Get it in the bucket. I'm not clearing the floor. Jesus. Get it up. There we go. Okay, Miss Morris, ready to play?
Is Michelle alive?
I'm not worried. We passed that part. She's on the floor, keeping her guts up. That's unfortunate. Oh, no. I actually feel bad now.
We probably shouldn't have had pizza before the show.
I think that's probably why. Wow, you need to chew that pizza. Oh, good God. I feel bad now. Do you know when you play a practical joke and it's gone wrong?
Still in my mouth.
Oh, no. That's going to stay with you for the rest of the show. I'm going to flick the arrow, Miss Morris. It's me and you. We have got, what does that say? That says berries or toothpaste.
Oh, that's terrible.
That's awful, isn't it? In fact, I'm going to do that again because when I pass them to you, I want to have another go. And we are getting, that says tutti frutti or stinky socks. So I'm going to pass. There's no cheating involved here. I'm going to quickly jump out of my seat and pass these on to Morris whilst Michelle is coughing in the background.
Adrian's walking.
And he's
Michelle's
walking.
still walking. Here he comes.
Okay, I'm back. Put my headphones on. What a great game this is. Makes me very
fantastic.
Happy. Take the blue one first. So the blue one is either berries or toothpaste. So there we go. Oh my! that came up. I've actually got toothpaste. Well, that's terrible, isn't it? The flavour of toothpaste. That's awful, right?
Oh, it's so bad.
Yeah,
so minty and crappy.
That's right.
That stinks.
What did you get? You got berries, or did you get toothpaste?
Toothpaste.
We both got toothpaste.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry for
it's
that.
terrible, isn't it? Yeah,
awful.
that's the worst thing that can happen.
What's the other one?
Well, now we have a choice. It's we're either going to get tutti frutti, which in Italian means all fruit, or we're going to get stinky socks. Morris has got... Oh, no! That didn't stay in long. Oh, my. That's no fun. You're supposed to chew it.
What, the bucket?
Oh,
Right?
no.
It's going to stay in there.
Hang on.
Oh.
After the toothpaste, I've no clue. I couldn't tell you whether that's tutti frutti or stinky socks.
I only had to have one bite, then it was done.
In that case, either my palate isn't as advanced as yours, or I've got tutti frutti.
Oh.
Well, as you may be aware, ladies, you're now having a playoff between each other.
No, we're good.
Nope, you've got one more to go. So last one, and you have got buttered popcorn or rotten eggs. Choose wisely, Michelle. Which one are you going to go? Do you want to pass one on to Morris there?
Oh, great.
So you could both be sitting here now with all of the ambience of the cinema.
I smell
let's all go
rotten
to the
eggs.
lobby and get ourselves a treat. Or you could be getting rotten eggs. So in you go. Let's see what we've got there.
Oh.
Yep, both had rotten. Well, that's unfortunate. Oh no.
Oh.
Both apparently. I'm guessing that both of you
Gross.
had rotten eggs. You're not supposed
I'm
to spit them out
done.
straight away.
Yes, you are.
No. Oh, good God.
God damn.
Oh, no. Michelle's literally throwing up. This has got to be worth $1, isn't it? Do you not think? To watch this at home on your video. Well played, ladies. I thought we had a bit of fun with that. Oh, my. Shall I just, be professional and carry on as Michelle's bringing up her dinner? This didn't go as well as I would have hoped, I have to say. Yeah, that's not... Your decision-making's terrible.
Do you feel bad? You should.
Yeah, there's a part of me that does feel bad, but then there's another part of me that thinks this is great radio, and all I got was toothpaste. So, as we enter the round that we call Ghosts and Hauntings, Michelle's on 8, Heather's on 8, and I am yet to score. I shall power on regardless.
I don't want to play anymore.
Yeah, that's a fantastic colour of green you've gone there. Hold it in. I don't want to see it. A psychic who tripped over a sunbed has won $70,000 in damages. Lynn Morgan, 62, failed to fall asleep. It's very off-putting when you're trying to read and there's someone 3 feet away from you throwing their guts up. I just thought I'd share that with you. It's very, very off-putting.
Why is it stinky?
Lynn Morgan, 62, failed to foresee the horrific tumble which left her bleeding profusely after smashing her teeth and nose on the concrete. She sued operator TUI, saying she had developed hearing problems and a fear of falling. So smashing her teeth and nose caused hearing problems, apparently. She was a psychic. She should have seen this coming. What are you rooting around over there for?
I'm going to see if there's anything minty in our candy.
You're looking through
one of those toothpaste things.
You're looking
Here.
through your candy supply to see if you
Michelle.
can take away the taste.
Do you want a Zotz?
Yes.
Where's mine? I'd like a Zotz, whatever that is. Wasn't that on Flash Gordon?
She's got an extra.
Thank you. I'll take one of those. There we go. So a lady who claims to be psychic has tripped over a sunbed. She smashed her nose and teeth on the floor, and now she's suing the company that left the sunbed there. A judge at Cardiff County Court has now ruled in her favour over the fall during her and husband Nick's £6,000 or dollars all-inclusive trip to Rua Lamorne Hotel in Mauritius. Judge Milwin Jarman QC said an illicit and unlit terrace was too dark and the wooden sunbed had been left sticking out. He added she was not expecting a sunbed to be in the way, having come that way without obstruction only 2 hours earlier. Mrs. Morgan of Cumbran uses tarot and her belief in guardian angels to help people. Well, her guardian angels just netted her $70,000.
They tripped her.
She told the court the fall ruined her enjoyment of the holiday and her daughter's wedding soon after. Barrister Navjot Atwal of TUI claimed the accident probably happened because she was disorientated or not watching her feet. He said although the sunbed was dark-coloured, it was not visible and most likely had a light cushion on it. Judge Jarman found TUI liable even though it did not own or operate the hotel. He said the fall was caused by poor lighting, although Mrs. Morgan contributed by not turning back when she saw how dark it was. Paranormal investigators and psychics do not turn back when it's dark. The dangers of sunning, or she should have seen it coming. The psychic who fell over a sunbed and won herself $70,000. If you wish to see that story in full, you can go to our Facebook site, More Questions and Answers with Adrian Lee. Miss Morris, what have you got for me tonight in the round of ghosts and hauntings?
A dad has been left shaken up after spotting what appears to be a faceless woman in the background in a video of his daughter. Mr. Huang from Taipei, Taiwan, was looking through old pictures and videos when he came across a sweet clip of his daughter from a few years back. During a visit to his in-laws' house in Yunlin County, on the nation's west coast, on August 22nd of 2017, he filmed his daughter singing and dancing. But it's only when he looked more closely that he noticed something utterly horrifying in the background behind his daughter. It was a figure.
creepy.
I know. Within the first second of the footage, a faceless, long-haired figure seems to be sitting at a desk. Oh, it's from The Ring, isn't it?
Yep, totally
I
from The
knew
Ring.
it.
You bunking your own story?
The clip showing what he believes is a female ghost has understandably left the entire family shaken up. Mr. Huang also learned that his in-laws' neighbors had buried their daughter on the same day that he had filmed the footage. He told local media, "I'm positive
Here we go.
that my daughter and I were the only ones in the room at the time.
What language is this? What are we doing?
I remember my mother-in-law saying our neighbors were holding a funeral behind the house at the time.
Mary.
They buried her in the behind the house?
Jesus and Josie, these are third world countries. Just dig a hole, throw her in, she'll be fine. Oh no, 2 days later the foxes have dug her up and they're taking her down the yard by the legs.
The neighbor's young daughter had died. Oh, I was on the bed the whole time. After sharing the video online, a number of social media users have accused Mr. Huang of faking the video. But Mr. Huang said, "I really wish that were true. What can I say for sure is that there were only the two of us in the room. Everyone else was downstairs." Like they couldn't walk upstairs?
What, the ghosts? The ghosts walk upstairs?
No,
They
the other
just-
people that were downstairs could walk up the stairs, right?
That is true. That's what stairs are for.
I was
To
thinking.
elevate you into an ascension into the next level.
Well, according to Taiwanese media, video experts have said it's highly unlikely that Mr. Huang had tampered with the video because of how shaky the filming is. Yeah, right. Just look at the Bigfoot footage. Footage. You know the footage, how the footage fit in the footage.
More jelly beans, madam?
No,
Okay,
they're
just checking.
gross. Ah, Mr. Huang said, "I just wanted to share my doubts because I worry I've accidentally filmed the spirit of the deceased. All I want is for my daughter to grow up in peace." Then why are you bringing it up 2 years after the fact?
And why has she got no face? Is that because you can't see the face and the face is there, you just haven't got the
Do you
skill
know-
to see it?
It is bunk because
Or
I
could
looked
she not
at the video.
manifest herself?
No, it's because it's the back of someone's head.
It's the back of someone's head. Miss Morris has bunked her own story. If you're playing the Bell Bunk and Snort drinking game, didn't we once include vomiting on that? The Bell Bunk Snort and vomiting game. People should be drinking merrily in the background here, knocking away the shots. I've no idea why you're playing Bigfoot music at the moment. You're bored, aren't you?
I am.
You're
I'm
literally bored. She's bored of her own story.
I
She's
am.
bunked it, and we're moving swiftly on. Ghosting Taipan or faking all that he can. Coronation Street legend Bill Roach has psychic powers. One of his former co-stars has claimed after he gave her a very accurate reading. Thelma Barlow, who played Mavis Wilton on the long-running ITV soap, recently found a reading the veteran actor gave her almost 50 years ago. If Bill, 88, ever decides to retire from show business and start a new career as a psychic, then he would get a glowing reference from his former co-star Thelma Barton. The actor studied astrology in the 1970s and did a reading for his new co-star, who played Mavis Riley on the soap from 1971 to 1997. Discussing the subject of Bill's psychic abilities on District Nostalgia podcast, the 91-year-old actress said he was doing a serious study of astrology at the time, and he was doing charts for some of the cast, and it seems the results were scarily accurate. He knew nothing about me at all, she said. I came across it the other week, and it's so extraordinary. I remember at the time thinking, gosh, this is amazing. She continued, he said within the first page, there seems to be no influence of a father in your life. Maybe he was away a lot. I don't understand this. Maybe you can explain it to me. My father died 3 weeks before I was born, so I never got to know him. Obviously something made Bill write that, but he had no idea about my background or anything. Thelma, who went on to star in BBC's series The Dinner Ladies, revealed she plans to get in touch with Bill to chat about his accurate predictions. She added, I must write to Bill and tell him I fished it out after 50 years and chat to him about it. Can I have your star sign? Or 50 years is a very long time. You decide. Go to our Facebook site, More Questions and Answers with Adrian Lee, and you can see the story for yourself. In full, I shall give myself 2 astrological points. Michelle, what have you got for me tonight in the round of ghosts and hauntings?
A woman who introduced herself as Bella said she was left unconscious 21 years due to carbon monoxide poisoning. The incident left her on the brink of death, and she was lucky to escape with her life. When the incident happened, she has vivid memories of Jesus Christ appearing to her.
Bless you, my child.
Bella shared her bizarre account with the Near-Death Experience Research Foundation. She said, all I can remember is music that was kind of in the background, that was almost like notes within notes.
Can you have notes within notes? I guess there was notes
within. In heaven you can.
Wow. A scale, a chord. If you play a chord, that's notes within notes, isn't it?
You can do it on an angel's banjo.
Can you really?
Oh, yeah.
Can you play the angel's banjo?
Yes.
Can you get a tune out of it? She can get a tune out of the angel's banjo.
Yeah.
Yes, we've moved on from Tesla. We're not discussing body parts anymore. That part of the show's been and gone.
The song that reminds me of the most is the Carol of the Bells. Is that the one from The Exorcist?
That's Tubular Bells, isn't it? By Mike Oldfield, but I'm guessing it's similarly creepy.
I remember feeling very peaceful. I was sitting at a very plain wooden table, and there was white all around the man, who was Jesus, who sat next to me.
Jesus played the bells?
Oh, he was sitting at the table.
Yeah, it was at the next table. The bells would just happen to be there. Yeah, he was waiting for his starter to arrive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
He was trying to make do by having a couple of bread rolls and feeding the whole of the room.
No, he was having a grilled cheeses.
Oh, no.
Grilled cheeses.
Why am I here? Why am I here? I have to tell you, my moustache is giving me merry jip right now. I'm going to have to put some sort of gel on it for next week.
Gel?
Honestly, I spent the entire show, if you watch the video, fiddling with my nose.
Ask Michelle and I if I care.
Almost beyond reproach.
We don't care. You deserve it.
For what? Growing a moustache?
For giving us bad beans.
Bad beans. You chose the beans.
I did not. I was given my beans.
So just don't go around spilling the beans. Yes, you were given the beans.
Spilled your beans.
Yeah, well, don't go around telling everyone is the key
Gotta
here.
eat your beans.
Yes, Jesus was trying to make do, waiting for his starter with a couple of bread rolls and a couple of thousand people to feed.
Jesus.
Grilled cheeses.
And a fish finger sandwich.
Yeah. When it was all happening, Bella said she remembers a feeling of total love. She recalls talking to Jesus without uttering a single word. Bella said, I would look into his eyes and find all the answers I was searching for.
It's lucky they didn't have a single, is it me you're looking for? I mean, it's lucky she didn't have to speak to him using, a language. I don't know how good she is at speaking ancient Hebrew.
Yeah.
I mean, is that possible?
Aramaic.
Yes, all of those things.
I remember feeling very peaceful, as if I would be happy never having to leave. However, she then recalls being woken up by her cousin. Bella would later learn that she was dragged out of the house to stop her from suffocating. She said, I was sitting with Jesus one second, and then my cousin was on top of me trying to get me up the next.
Wow.
Shocking.
I know.
Why was he on top of her?
And why is he trying to get it up? There are more questions than answers. And Jesus was watching all this, was he?
I guess.
Playing the bells.
Making a sandwich.
Nice.
In the aftermath of the near-death experience, Bella has come to believe the afterlife definitely exists, saying, I felt past relatives' energy, and of course, I was talking face-to-face with Jesus.
There you go. I actually think I may have had an experience with Jesus. I wrote about this in my book, How to Be a Christian Psychic, and it only I only realised what had happened quite a long time after the event, but I was sat in the kitchen, minding my own business on the kitchen table, and then a gentleman appeared, and his face was very kind of almost leprosy-like. It had a lot of scars, and it looked pretty grim, almost like rotting flesh, as if he'd just dug up a corpse after a year, and he was wearing a hood and a cape like a sort of monk's habit, if you like. But if you wish to read about that further, I genuinely believe that was a religious experience, and that was the thing that got me on the road to write my book, How to Be a Christian Psychic. So if you wish to see those things, you can go on Amazon and look up my books, or you can look up that story for yourself. If you go to our Facebook site, More Questions and Answers with Adrian Lee, I'll give you 2 divine angels singing points, Michelle.
Okay.
2 objects appeared above the Houses of Parliament during a live BBC broadcast, sparking speculation they were UFOs. Bizarre footage shows the glowing lights moving across the sky and circling a crane working on the historic building before zooming off. Miss Morris has bunked
They were
my
pigeons.
story.
Pigeons.
Glowing, were they?
Glowing
the size
pigeons.
Of glowing pigeons.
Tesla did it.
Atomic.
Tesla's glowing pigeons.
Yep.
Fantastic. They appeared during a live broadcast by political correspondent Jonathan Blake on the BBC News channel last Thursday, which was World UFO Day, by the way. But he was oblivious to the strange sighting behind him. Former detective Gary Hesseltine, editor of the UFO Truth magazine, managed to film the orbs on his iPhone as he watched TV at his home in Skulls in West Yorkshire. At first I thought they were birds, but they were much too big in relation to the crane, he said. Watching them after about 15 seconds in from the reporter's head, they look odd to me. And whilst I'm no photography expert, I have seen enough videos sent to me as the editor of UFO Truth magazine to know when I'm looking at something very, very strange. Rarely do you get live recordings from news channels. As the person who saw and recorded the clip, I find the sequence very bizarre. Some people have suggested it was a deliberate joke by the BBC because it was World UFO Day, but I don't buy into that idea at all. On a serious news platform, like they've got the time and the energy on the BBC News to be putting UFOs behind politicians' head on the lawn of Westminster. As far as I'm concerned, the sequence shows 2 anomalous objects that I can't explain. Some viewers suggested the lights could have been seagulls, but Gary said they moved too fast and were too big to be birds. And birds don't glow, do they?
No.
You don't often get a glowing bird. Plenty of glowing butterflies,
Glowing worms.
glowworms, but never a glowing bird. UFOs around a crane, or the man's insane. You decide for yourself by going to our Facebook site, More Questions and Answers with Adrian Lee. Miss Morris,
Yes.
have we got room to squeeze a quick story
I can.
in? Oh, you're good to me.
A very strange photograph showing what looks like a gray-colored foot has recently gone viral online. The picture, which has since been picked up by several news sites, was originally posted up on Twitter on June 14th by Indian forestry worker Susantananda.
I want to see that written down before you progress.
Susantananda.
Is that right?
Yeah. That's
Return
both
to
names.
sender.
Yep.
Okay.
With the caption, "Can you identify this animal?" The image appears to show a set of 5 discolored toes that Michelle would love to kiss, complete with nails sticking out from underneath what looks like a log or a plank of wood. What, you can't tell
God.
the difference? The post left social media users scratching their heads as they tried to determine what type of creature could possibly have toes that look like that. It was a troll.
A troll's foot.
I think so.
I've
Your
never seen
foot.
such wonders. Leave my
Or-
feet alone.
Or whether they even belonged to a creature at all. One popular suggestion was that it was some sort of gorilla or chimpanzee or Lee.
Eh? What? Wow, that's a little bit mean. Things were going swimmingly until you started getting mean. You've been on the Jack Daniels. You always get mean when you have Jack Daniels.
Well, as it turns out, however, the quote, unquote, toes are in fact a type of fungus known as Xyloria polymorpha, more commonly referred to as dead man's fingers due to its unique appearance.
It's a dead man's hand rather than dead man's foot.
Dead man's fingers.
We've had quite a Latin-themed show. The word xylem means wood. That's where xylophone comes from.
Yes. The fungus can typically be found on decaying wood or tree stumps
Told
or
you.
leaves.
I know what I'm doing. I know the Latin for wood, Miss Morris.
Or leaves.
I shall give you a couple of points, despite the fact that you've been
Show your foot.
mean to me. I'm flat-footed.
Show
I
it.
have 0 arch.
0.
I've got my mother's side of the family for my poor feet. This is where we are.
Oh, there you go.
I'm guessing we're wrapping this up, Miss Morris. We've got 2 minutes, literally. we've got 2 minutes to go to the end.
That's right.
So when I say are we wrapping this up, you need to say yes.
Yes,
ideally, rather than
because
sticking
I know
two
how
fingers.
you talk. Well, would you like these 2 fingers like this?
Despite Miss Morris's best intentions, all good things do actually come to an end. So let us look at tonight's scores, despite the fact that I've been given misinformation. In last place with the K2 meter and the dead battery, it is myself who managed to score 6. I'm in 3rd place. I get a corridor to walk down in the dark, littered with sunbeds, and a phantom without a face to play ping pong with. What a vacation that was.
Ping pong.
2nd place tonight, scoring the double integer of 10 that under any other circumstances would see her winning, is Michelle. She gets a hole in the yard and an astrological guide and a book and a CD on how to play the Angel's banjo. Excellent. But in resplendent 1st place, scoring 12 points tonight and winning the $33,000 IR camera for having such a good round in the general ignorance section, is Miss Morris. She gets a night with Jesus, a cheese sandwich, and a single grey foot.
Yay!
Do not fear, listener. Remember, we are back with a whole new bunch of stories next week at the same time, and I'd love for you to join me for a fun and informative journey through the world of the paranormal, strange, intriguing, bizarre, and weird. Please tell your friends and family about the show, and feel free to contact me anytime via my Facebook site, More Questions and Answers with Adrian Lee. If you wish to help the show, if you wish to be friendly and kind towards MQTA, why not cut and paste the link of digistreamglobal.com and tell all your friends and family on your social media that you need to listen to this show. That would help us enormously. My gratitude and greatest thanks are extended to Lorna Hunter, Heather Morris, Shaton Drainer, Michelle Corrie, and all of the International Paranormal Society, wow, and in paranormal.net, and all of the show sponsors, including the Lakes Area Paranormal Interest Group and MUFON of Minnesota. We're off to the bathroom to get some Tums for
7-Up.
Michelle Corrie. Some Beano might be the way to go there, sweetheart.
So sorry.
It just remains for me to say thank you for listening, and remember, be interested and interesting. Good night.